Hi, everybody. It's Georgia Rose in the soul space. Welcome to my soul space. I am just giving you guys all a big, huge hug, hug, hug. I missed you, even though it's only been a week. I had such a energetic and packed day. So do I look any different? Bobby put all new lighting in the studio. And I have to tell you, if I don't emerge an hour from now with a suntan, we didn't do it right. Because you could cook a chicken in here without an oven. It is like so many lights in the studio now. So... So welcome, everybody, and we have a great show for you. It's just me tonight. Don't have a guest, but would love for you guys to call into the show and chat with me. I'm a little lonely, so maybe you could talk to me for a little bit tonight, and we'll talk about everything from, let's see, we can talk about astrology, and we can talk about all kinds of things. So hopefully you'll all share the show for me. I would love it if you would do that. And I'm going to talk about the eclipse that's coming up. I'm also going to talk about some experiences that I had this week, because like I promised, I'm going to talk more about my own personal things that happened to me in my own journey, so you guys can actually get a little front row seat to what's going on in my little soul space, and you guys can share what's going on in your soul space. How does that sound? So if you would share the show, I would really, really love that. I am actually going to share the show right now on the Zenkuda site, Zenkuda Soul Space. If you all are not subscribed, we would love to have you all subscribe to that. And okay, so Bobby, if you can share the show to Soul Space, that'd be great. I don't know if you can, because I am not seeing my screen. There it goes. Okay, I got it, I think. Yeah. Okay. They always change Facebook and you can't find stuff. And that is what I'm going through right now. So, all right. So it was big eclipse coming in on the 29th, which I think is Saturday or Friday. Let's see, today's the 25th. So it's Friday is the eclipse. And actually that's coming on the 30th, Saturday. 29th, Pluto goes retrograde. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the eclipse energy, and then I want to talk to you about some experiences I've been having. So if you guys have been having any experiences, definitely share them, because I know the energy's been a little woo-woo lately. So eclipse is coming on Saturday. This is a lunar eclipse, which means on a lunar eclipse, the sun and the moon are together. It is happening in Taurus. So for all of you who have a sun, moon, or ascendant in Taurus out there, congratulations. You're going to feel a lot of energy. It's going to be good, though. You're going to like it. So I'm just going back onto our Strong Island site. So hold on, so I can see I can read my comments with you guys. It's so bright in here that I can't see my screen. That's the problem, Bob. Okay, so here we are. Here I am, back on the soul space. All right. Got it. Refresh. I'm squinting to see my screen. I'm going to have to get me some really nice dark glasses to wear on soul space. I'm going to have soul space glasses. Okay, so let's see who's on tonight with me. Oh, man, I got Jackie. I have Anne and Joanna Maya. I got a bunch of people on. Okay, so let's start with the eclipse. All right, enough fooling around, enough sharing the show, but you guys have to share the show. Okay, so eclipse is coming in Taurus. It's about between 10 and 11 degrees of Taurus. So if you all have a copy of your charts, which you can get for free on astro.com or Astrology Cafe, or there's a lot of sites out there now actually for that. But if you look and see where Taurus is in your chart, Taurus is going to be like a little bull, and you'll see maybe a symbol that looks like a little face with horns, and for the bull. And wherever Taurus is in your chart, that's the house that this eclipse is going to affect. So the themes of this eclipse are going to be around for about 7-8 months. That's how long eclipse energy lasts. So don't think of April 30th as being, boom, something's going to happen in my life. Eclipses are more of a process type of energy. They're like a wave. So for the next 7 months or so, you'll probably feel processes rather than pinpoints, right? It'll start to change your perspective about something, or it will initiate a change that will be, more slow growing and long term. This particular eclipse is a very distinct energy of new chapters, new beginnings. It is moving more towards our dreams and our wants. which is nice because a lot of the eclipses that we've had more recently have been more about changes that are very, sudden and shocking. And this is more about what we want, setting intentions. Really is a really different feel to the energy, a different bandwidth. I'm even feeling that and hearing that from other people. Connections are changing and things are getting a little bit more towards humanistic approach. I think we're all coming off that sensitization a little bit that we had the last couple of years. So think about a different bandwidth. I love that word because it kind of really goes along with that wave of energy, and everything that we've been feeling the last couple of years is really changing now. This eclipse is about breaking new ground, and this eclipse is strongly linked with a solar eclipse a lunar eclipse that we're going to have in middle of May. This is the solar eclipse. The sun and the moon are together. The lunar eclipse that we're going to have in mid-May is very obviously closely related to this, and will even amplify whatever energy is beginning this Friday, Saturday for you. So it's all about breaking new ground. This is really about finding our power and the resilience of that. It's about not being afraid to do things in new ways. Taurus is the bull. It charges in. But you want to make sure that you go within. This is very much an eclipse, and this eclipse season is very much about setting your intentions and going within and what you really want to make and create in your life. It's about stepping into our courage. If there's been a change or something that's been coming in for you that you feel apprehensive about or you've been having anxiety about, this is really pushing us to step into our courage. This energy wants us to face fear and, rise from the depth of that fear that we all have, that we're not good enough, that we're not deserving enough, that maybe we can't complete something, that we're not strong enough. This is an energy, think of that bull. He's strong. He doesn't have any self-doubt when he charges in. And that's really how the energy of this eclipse season is going to play out. This is really, if I had to put a phrase on it, and I heard someone else, one of my teachers actually say this, and what this energy really symbolizes is finding the hero within yourself. This is about being your own hero, about the things maybe karmically or over a long period of time that have been holding you back, and now you finally find the courage to face them. That's really how the universe is supporting us right now. It's really giving us the courage to do that. So make your choices with that real strength of fortitude, that you can do something. And what I would do, and I recommend this for my students that I coach with mindfulness and life coaching, I always say use your shower in the morning as a reset. How many of us have really busy lives, busy days, busy careers, busy families, whatever it might be, and we get in the shower and we're clicking off that task list of everything we have to do. And by the time we get out of the shower, we're overwhelmed and we don't know how we're going to do it all. Right? And that sets the tone for your whole day. You feel like you're catching up before you even started. But if we can use that shower time to kind of go into almost like a semi-meditation where we picture ourselves in a successful time in our life, something that we did where we were really resilient and resourceful, that feeling like you have when you just can't wait to tell somebody about something you accomplished, that beautiful feeling of success and empowerment. Think about that when you get in the shower and you're letting the water run over you and you're getting that 5 minutes or 10 minutes of your life without any interruptions. And think about how great that felt, and bring that energy into your day. Bring that energy into your task list and what you have to accomplish, and know that you are fully supported by a wise and loving universe in order to do it. So step into your hero within and be that hero for yourself. This is about surrendering to those surges of awakening that we get. A lot of times, because Uranus is in Taurus right now, and this eclipse is in Taurus, we've got a lot of Taurus energy. The North Node, our arc of development, is in Taurus right now. Everything's bunched up in there. So what happens is it's electrifying. Sometimes we get these sudden surges of electricity, or surges of reality, or surges of anxiety. And this is really about surrendering to that, because in that, there's usually some kind of an illumination. There's usually some kind of a, You ever walk into a room and all of a sudden you feel like a chill up your spine, or you feel a prick, or you just feel like electrified? That's the universe saying, hey, we want your attention. We want to show you this. We want you to think about this. We want to wake you up. It's not a bad thing. It's illumination. It's awakening. It's electricity. I always say that feeling, that Uranus-driven feeling, which is amplified right now with those planets, Sun, Moon, and North Node around it, is the lightning in the room. It's a little scary, but if we didn't get that fleeting moment of everything being lit up, then we wouldn't know where everything was, right? So lightning's actually good in a way. So this is really about, like I said, that North Node is in Taurus with Uranus, that sudden awakener. This is really about illuminating your destiny. This is about having those little flashes of intuition of what you were born for. So it's really a beautiful, beautiful energy. It can be intense. It can cause change, sudden and shocking changes. I think all of us are going to undergo some kind of a metamorphosis during this eclipse season. But I think it's really piercing clarity. Piercing clarity, that lightning bolt piercing the dark to give us the clarity of what we were born for, where we're supposed to be. So don't approach the electricity, don't approach the sudden changes, the shock waves with dread or tighten up. Approach them with surprise and curiosity and flow into them and let them really create something in your life. Be the co-creator with those feelings and don't assign them an instantaneous resistance, because this is that clarity piercing through the darkness for us. Another side note that I want to make, especially now, we are seeing this. I predicted food shortages 2 years ago. I've been telling everyone, grow your food, grow your food. It's going to get really intense on food shortages for many different reasons that are in the three-dimensional world. But I can tell you from a cosmic outlook, from a psychic outlook, from an intuitive outlook, from where the planets are outlook astrologically, grow your food. Grow food. Uranus is disruption. Taurus is food and resources. We're going to have disruptions to the food supply. It's without a doubt. We're already seeing it. So make sure you go garden this summer, and put stuff up for the winter. All right. Pluto stations direct on Friday. What does that mean? Pluto is a planet of transformation. It does that right the day before the eclipse, where it goes retrograde. When a planet goes retrograde, it slows down and it passes over the same degrees of the zodiac 3 times. That's why that old-fashioned saying, everything happens in threes, right? So when Pluto slows down and any planet slows down, it amplifies the planet. The planet becomes more stronger in its archetype, in its qualities, in its themes. Pluto is transformation. Pluto is something has to die to be transformed. Pluto is resurrection, rebirth. Pluto is the planet that has really been causing a lot of this energy since January of 2020. It now hits the last degrees of Capricorn, where it is going to retrograde back into the lesser degrees of Capricorn. So if you have any planets in those late degrees of Capricorn, which I have like 3 of them, they've been killing me for 2 years, lots of transformation, deep, deep, deep change. If you have any degrees in any planets in the last degrees of Capricorn, they'll be affected. So what is Pluto going retrograde mean? Pluto going retrograde, especially where it is in the zodiac now, is absolute disruption of financial markets. But as you know, every time we have a downturn, we have an upturn. So this is definitely you're going to hear things about banking, finances, digital currency. I think especially with Uranus, with Jupiter and Aquarius, you're going to hear a lot about digital currency, future-oriented type of financial inventions and things. You're probably going to see a lot of push to centralize banking or decentralize banking. That's going to be a big issue, that polarity. And also what you're going to see with this Pluto retrograde is more so than we've seen over the last 2 years, which has been a running theme, is secrets being revealed. And you're going to see more of that now as Pluto is retrograde, because it definitely is anything that's taboo, because we've got the South Node in Scorpio, which is digging in the dirt. And so that with Pluto wanting to transform things, Pluto over the last 2 years is just collapsing anything that's old and not transparent. So you're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see the old collapsing even more so. But the difference is now with this renewed energy, you're going to see the people be more in control of what happens rather than the structures. So it'll really be interesting. So you combine all those energies, shake them up in a blender, and what's the in a nutshell, the theme? Well, the next few weeks into the summer is definitely going to be different energy, different bandwidth, new adventures, new chapters, finding your power. Where can you be more resilient? What resources do you have that you can use to actually empower your life? Is there a quality or something that you are doing or acting or making happen that actually disempowers you and controls you that you can flip over to use for empowerment? You know, like maybe you're super detail oriented and everyone says you're OCD and you drive everyone crazy, but maybe there's a task at hand that needs tackling that detail orientation is really needed. So you take whatever is overpowering you and you make it an empowerment, but you have to find the right arena, the right audience for the quality, if that makes sense. I'm very wordy. I love to talk. Sometimes people don't have time to talk to me. So I'm doing a podcast. There's a lot of humor and truth. So we're still in the energy of Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which happened on April 12th. That was that beautiful spiritual tsunami. That's why we're all like so connected and we're walking around a little like blurry, I like to say, you know. I usually am supposed to wear glasses all the time and everyone's like, you're not wearing your glasses. And I say, I like my world a little blurry. I don't really want to see everything. But Jupiter's going to go into Aries on May 11th, and I'll talk more about that on the show. But what I'd like you to do in the meantime is think about where you were in January, February of 2011. Because when Jupiter goes into Aries on May 11th, that's the energy. Jupiter is a 12-year cycle. So January, February 2011, what were you doing? Because now Jupiter is going to go back to that spot and she's either going to rectify it, re-emerge it, redo it, or show you how you have how you need to be rewarded because you've done something with it. So really, really cool stuff going on in the zodiac. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you guys that Mercury is going retrograde May 10th to May 23rd. It actually stays retrograde to June 3rd, but May 23rd, it retrogrades back into Taurus. It's going to be retrograde in Gemini, which when Mercury retrogrades in Gemini, guys, that is back up your computers, back up your phones. It's the classic Mercury retrograde that gets the bad rap. It's the travel glitches. This Mercury retrograde is really about that. What's the good energy of Mercury retrograde? I saw somebody had somebody on Facebook had a event it was like $25 to find out how you can use Mercury retrograde. Just go Google it, you know. Mercury retrograde, the good energy, a higher octave of it is it wants us to slow down. It's that simple. The reason why it gets a reputation as being glitchy and our computers die or we lose information or we don't check our flight twice and it's delayed or we take the wrong turn during a Mercury retrograde, because the purpose of Mercury retrograde, Mercury is our minds, the purpose of it is to slow us down so we think more about those things and don't have the glitches. So I always say during a Mercury retrograde, it doesn't mean don't sign contracts. It doesn't mean don't buy the car. It just means really think about it and read everything twice and look at the fine print before you do it. That's Mercury retrograde. I would try, if you didn't absolutely have to, not to have surgical procedures and things during a Mercury retrograde, because it, just like I said, you got to check everything twice and you don't know if your doctor and staff are going to do that. So it's probably not the optimal, but as long as you read the fine print and school everybody, you should be fine. So don't fear Mercury retrogrades. Use them as a time to slow down and actually develop those habits that eliminate a lot of the glitches that we have because we're always rushing around. So while the retrograde is in Gemini, it's going to be all that communication BS and, gritting our teeth like again with this. And then when it goes into Taurus from the 23rd until, about the June 3rd, that's blunt speech. So Mercury in Gemini is we blurt a lot of things out. We want to talk a lot. Our minds want to just say whatever we think. And then when it goes into Taurus for that couple of weeks, we really blurred everything out. We're the bull in the china shop. So what I can say to you about this Mercury retrograde is from May 10th to June 3rd, watch your words. Even your electronic communications, check your emails twice. Maybe wait an hour before you hit send if you're telling somebody off, or if you just feel like you really need to post something. Wait, sit with the feelings, because this Mercury retrograde is all about communication. So who have I got here? I got Janine. Hi, my friend. Thank you. Anne says we have a great podcast. Thank you, Anne. And good evening to you. Hello, Joanna Maya. Hey, Elaine. Thank you. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Sarah. How are you doing? I love Sarah. She's such a warm, sweet energy. And who else have I got here? May 10th is your birthday, Joanne. So you have a Mercury retrograde on your birthday. I was actually born with Mercury retrograde in my chart. And usually people who are born with Mercury retrograde, they don't feel it as much. So I want to tell you guys about an experience I have been having. So all of my life, and this kind of fits in with the eclipse energy of surrender and meeting our fears and all that. That's why I wanted to tell you guys this story. So all my life, I have been really terrified of the dentist. Had a bad experience as a kid, and then it developed into this irrational fear. And even at this age, I've never, not that I'm really that old, but middle age, maybe adult. I'm an adult almost. Never. So even at this years of my life, I still have a fear of the dentist. I have never sat in a dental chair and had anything done except a cleaning. Everything gets done under general sedation. They put me to sleep. A couple hours later, an hour later, I wake up. I'm good to go. Don't go back for a couple of years except for cleanings. I have good teeth. That's the way I've always done it. It has not ever entered into my consciousness to ever do it a different way, because I knew I just couldn't do it. I had this irrational phobia. So I recently had all my dental work done, as I normally do, and was sedated for 3 hours. And for some reason, I don't know, it was a new dentist, but for some reason, the anesthesiologist that they had knocked me into next week. I mean, he gave me so much stuff. I don't even know what the cocktail was. I have it actually in my phone, made them text it to me, but I don't know what made me react the way I did. However, what happened was I couldn't wake up. Finally woke up like 5 hours later, barely. Lost 2 days of my life. Someone had to come and stay with me. It was just a horrific experience. I've never had that happen under general anesthesia, and I've had a lot of surgeries and things. So I really was apprehensive now more than ever after that experience, and I was like, I don't ever want to go back to dentist, and now I'm never getting sedated again. So about 3 weeks after this, lots and lots of money and everything done, and this horrific experience. And the dentist is a good dentist. It was really just the anesthesiologist. Love my dentist. So I get a toothache. Like, what on God's earth am I getting a toothache for? I just spent like $10,000 and was asleep for 3 hours and had this horrific experience. And I was really ticked off, had to call the dentist, had to go on emergency. Now, I know going on emergency is out of the realm of the possibility of anything I would ever be able to do. And I know they're not going to have anyone to put me to sleep. So I'm like freaking the F out, right? So I go, a lot of stuff ensues. They talk me into doing this root canal, with just injection, numbness, whatever. I did it. So I got through it. And as I'm in the chair having this work done, I literally have like music in my ears, iPod. I have a blanket over me because I'm like shaking, like I can't stop shaking. And I have the darkest sunglasses they could find on so I don't see anything. I'm like this alien creature in the dental chair. But he does his thing, packs the tooth, whatever. I don't want to know what they do. So I go home and I'm actually happy that I actually could do this thing that I never thought I would ever be able to do. And I was able to be in the dental chair. And the whole time I'm in the chair, every time I like got scared and my body tensed up, it would be worse. The fear would be worse. So I realized as I'm going through this and I'm listening to my meditation music and I'm trying to like face this, when I relaxed and I didn't resist, I didn't tense. When I relaxed and I just flowed and told myself I wasn't going to die, that it was only temporary and that millions of people do this every day and I'm going to be fine, it wasn't so bad. And so I internalized it and I started thinking about this and applying it to everything in my life. And I realized that when we surrender to things and we allow and we flow, gosh, our life just goes so much better. It's unbelievable what we put ourselves through just resisting life. And so I started throughout my days since that was like the end. What are we in now? April something, April 25th. That was like the end of March. So as I went through my days, I applied that theory. And it was like I was reminded, and this was a theory I always knew, but I had somewhere along the line totally forgot because I think, over COVID and over the last couple of years, I just developed this, like, I guess, reaction to just tense up and resist everything. Everything's going to be a problem. Everything's going to, oh no, right? So I started to apply the idea of surrender. And I realized that this sudden idea of surrender, right? So this suddenly new idea was actually eternally there. It had always been there. When I look back on the times of my life when I have surrendered to things and just allowed it to flow, when I had cancer and when certain things happened, gosh, it got so much easier and was so easy to face. And after a while, you just were coping with it and sailing along. You weren't really thinking about it anymore. So I had to go back again to the dentist because, root canals take a lot of visits. So I had to go back for the second visit, and I was very nervous about it, but not as bad as the first time. Because I was glad that I was actually able to face it, and I was like almost in gratitude. I guess, no, I really was in gratitude. God, thank you so much for working with me on this fear, right? So I went the second time when they put the temp filling in, or the temp crown in, and they were going to do it in 2 visits. And I said to the dentist, look, I don't want to come 4 times. I want to just get this done with. So I'll sit in the chair. How long is it going to take? And he said in 90 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. All right, I'm going to do it. And at some point in that chair over the 90 minutes, I was fine. I wasn't really that afraid anymore. I was like, you know what? Just flow with this. You've done it before. You know how it is now. You know what it's like. Just do it. And I was really, really good. And it really showed me that surrendering, that flowing, not resisting is the answer to almost everything in our lives. So, funny story. So last week I was doing my podcast. And after the podcast, I met someone randomly who had been listening to the podcast. And they had a book in their hand. It was a spiritual book. And they said to me, I was listening to you, and it's really different hearing someone talk about this stuff, not just reading it in a book. And I said, thank you so much. I'm glad you listened and everything. And we started to have this heart-to-heart conversation about spirituality and about how, just life stuff, which happens a lot to me. I don't know if it's just the energy. I think it's law of attraction. What you are, you just attract, and vice versa. So he asked me, how do you deal with blockages or when you're trying to overcome something? Because I'm really having a hard time working through this, and I'm really fighting hard. And I thought about my recent experience, and I said, well, how about if you don't fight so hard and you don't try and work through it? What if you surrendered to it? And what if you trusted the universe, God, whatever you believe is source, so much that you kind of just threw your arms open and we're grateful that that source was just going to take it from you or help you or relieve it or dissolve it. And maybe the key is receiving. And what I found from all this dental stuff and facing that fear is we push against everything. When we can't push against something to make it happen, we seek it and we search for it and we grab it and we're going to get it and I want it. And we're in this aggressive or assertive thing. And that's really good. Like I said last week, ambition is great. We're born to be ambitious. But what happens is we lose that connection to source sometimes in that grasping, in that wanting, in that I'm going to get through this, I'm going to do it, damn it. I'm going to clear this. I'm going to tackle this. When maybe what we really need to do is receive it. Receive the strength. Receive the love, right? How many of us, when we're single or we're between our relationships or we're going through a divorce, we're like, I'm going to find love. I'm going out. I'm going to find one, right? I'm going to find a person. I'm going to find a partner. Or young people like, I'm going to search for my wife. I'm going to search for my husband. Well, maybe love isn't something we find. Maybe it's something we open to receive. And so when I started to apply that process and that philosophy, I have to tell you, the last couple of weeks, my whole life was opened up. And I'm back in the groove I always was really the best in. And I feel like I'm at the top of my game with a lot of stuff. And I know it sounds really corny, but I'm not searching and I'm not battling. I'm just doing and I'm receiving. And every day I go into my little meditation like I always do. And I just say, hey, you know what, God, thanks so much for everything I'm going to receive today because I know you got it covered. And I just, all of a sudden, everything just came into a new way. So God always likes to test us, I feel like, right? I kind of call it my angels screwing with me because they always have this sense of humor that at first I don't really always find funny, but I can hear them laughing up there. So I go through all this stuff with the dentist. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm so happy. I conquered my fear. This is going to be great. When I go back, I just got to get the temp crown. It's going to be a piece of cake. One more visit, I'm done. So last Thursday night, I came home late from someplace and I didn't eat dinner. So I decided to eat my favorite. My family knows they actually threw Cheerios at my wedding, is Cheerios. So it's a tradition in my family whenever anyone gets married, we don't throw rice, we throw their favorite breakfast cereal. So, so I'm a Cheerios girl. Okay. So I was eating my Cheerios and my crown cracked. And I was like, oh my God, I have to go back to the dentist. Because God's telling me how much I have conquered this fear. He's going to send me back there just to see. So I called him in the morning and I go in and I'm going to be really good. I'm not going to be nervous. I was actually pretty good. Brought my earbuds and my stress ball and I'm in the chair. They're doing the thing. They make me a new crown and I go on my merry way. And the dental assistant says, don't eat for a couple of hours. And I had a home inspection somewhere. I do real estate by my earthbound job. And I go and I come back to my home about 3:00 in the afternoon. I decide I'm going to eat something because I have a ton of work to do and I need to eat. So no, I did not eat Cheerios. I actually made myself scrambled eggs. And as I'm sitting there eating scrambled eggs, working on my computer, catching up for all the work that I didn't get to do because of the dentist and the home inspection, I swallow the new temporary crown. Swallow it, totally swallow, twice in one day. So I have to go back to the dentist. Now I'm in a panic though, right? People who live alone are always in a panic about choking to death. At least I am anyway. And I always think like I have to learn the Heimlich, the one where you like go over the chair because in case I start choking, like now Sparky's gone. He can't even save me. So I call the dentist and I'm like, hi, this is Georgia. I was there at 9:00 this morning. Yeah, we know. Hi, Georgia. How are you doing? I just swallowed my temporary crown. They're like, no way. Like I'm the last person they want to see, right? So I go back to the dentist. I get my new crown put on. Everything's fine. Get it done. It's all good. And I said to the dentist, because now I'm still a little nervous about the fact that I swallowed this tooth. So the dentist said, don't worry, it's biologically something. And he uses this big scientific term. So I say, you mean like I'm going to poop it out? And he goes, yeah, you'll pass it through. So now I didn't want to say it, but all I could think of was, gosh, God is really letting this dental thing bite me in the ass, literally now. Ha ha, big laugh, right? So that was my story. So don't let your fears bite you in the ass. Flow with them, surrender. Know that the universe and God, whoever you believe in, whatever the energy of source is for you, know that it's giving you everything you need to be wherever and whatever you really want to create in your life. Receive that. Know you are deserving of it and just receive it. Just receive it. Receive love. Don't chase love. Receive it. It's there for you. All right. So I'm going to read my comments. Yeah. Elaine's hysterical. Yeah. My dental thing literally bit me in the ass because now I'm passing a tooth out my butt. So I love you too, Donna. So I told you I'm going to get more personal on the show. So anyway, so you don't know how bad I had to hold that one-liner in when the dentist said that. I really wanted to say that to him, but I couldn't. So yeah, that's what so I texted somebody and I'm like, I just swallowed my new crown. And they're like, no way. Like no one could believe it. I'm like, just, it happens. But those who know me know that things happen in spurts in my life. I go long periods of time, boredom, nothing's going on, and then everything just happens at once. So stands to reason I'd be there 2 times in one day. So I'm going to go to my comments here and see what's going on. All right. Everybody's laughing. Okay, I'm going to pick a card for Christine. Oh, Christine, the airplane experience. Christine Fay, my friend, was having a really hairy airplane experience coming back from Florida in that crazy weather we had last week. Well, I was swallowing my crown. You were like holding on for dear life and saying Hail Marys on the plane. I had an experience like that once. It's just craziness. So let's pick a card for you, Christine. I know Christine's been feeling better and doing better. I'm going to do a little reading for her. We've got 20 minutes, about 15 minutes or so left on the show. What I'm going to do from now on, instead of trying to pull cards for everybody because it gets like me a little hyped up because I try and do that, I'm just going to pick one or two people at the end of every show if we have time. I don't have a guest or anything, and do little readings for you guys. But if anybody wants to call in, the number's up 516-945-9099, and tell me how your week's going. Let me know like what's going on. How are you guys feeling? Anybody swallow any teeth? Cheerios are the bomb. I got to tell you, Cheerios are the bomb, Sarah. They're good for you too. I remember one time I went into arrhythmia. This is years ago, and I was in the hospital for my heart. And my little niece came up and she said, "Aunt Georgia, how could you be in the hospital? You eat so many Cheerios for your heart." It was very cute. Yeah, glad to be. We're glad you're alive too, Christine Fay. We need you in this world. We got to all go to karaoke one night. Christine, you are birthing something. I got to tell you, you got this eclipse for you. I think is going to be a lot of new ideas and a lot of really great new perspectives, new chapters. Embrace them, honey, because they're coming. These cards flew out. I'm going to put those there. Okay. Ooh, the lovers. You got the lovers, baby. The lovers for me in my dictionary don't always mean a literal relationship. Although I have to say when I was shuffling, I felt like there's going to be a relationship coming in for you, like a summer relationship. But the lovers for me also mean a lot of messages. Like you're going to get messages. Archangel Gabriel is the messenger when I see the lovers card for me. And then these were the cards that flew out of the deck. So I'm going to use them for your reading, Christine Fay. You got the Knights of Cups. That's confirming for me that there is somebody coming in for you. That's usually someone who comes in a very fast way, like fast moving, shocking, surprising. I have a feeling that may be some summer loving, some summer fun, because I'm hearing that Grease song, Summer Loving. And I got the Empress. I think that's your mom. Her card came up the last time in one of your readings, if I remember correctly. You've also got the Knight of Swords. So, yeah, swift things happening. Wondering if you guys are going through, because I'm feeling family with mom, if you guys are going through something legal or something, maybe she's redoing wills or healthcare proxies, or somebody in the family is doing something like that. Because I'm feeling if they're not, they're going to. I feel that around you. I have the King of Swords, which usually for me means legal. It's surrounded by the Knight of Swords and the Empress. So, swords is action. It's conflict sometimes, but in this instance, I'm not getting that. I feel like it's action. I feel like things moving very, very quickly. I feel like you're going to be asked to step up more and take more family responsibility, because I just got this card. If Bob can show this card on the table. Here we go. This card, I'm just going to move it around so the lighting isn't glaring on it. It's like a, here we go. It's a tree. And this beautiful woman, almost looks like she's giving birth, is sitting under the tree. And to me, this is the tree of life, the familial tree. That's what I'm getting off of that. And I feel like this is you taking on the growth of that tree, the stabilization of that tree, like you're in the roots. So I really feel like this is you keeping a family together, being the strong force in the family. So maybe you're going to take more of that responsibility from mom. I know mom's always been the matriarch of your family, but this is definitely you stepping up and almost putting roots into the tree. So I don't know if any of that resonates for you, but that's what I'm feeling. I feel like there's good energy coming in for you. I feel like you're still clearing out some of the, annoying energy, uncomfortable energy, but that there's a lot of really great stuff coming in for you. Good summer. I feel like as soon as the warmer weather comes, you're going to definitely see things really changing. And this is going to be an attraction of everything good in life, not just like a kind of fun relationship, but I feel like you're attracting good things because now your self-worth and your caring of yourself is going into another level. So that's really what I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm just reading the comments. Going to pick a card to confirm the reading. Yeah. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because this card is a contemplation card. And I feel like this is you going within, go within, go within, go within. Your strength is going to be found when you go within. Take that time. All right. Take that time. Going to pick one card also from Tarot for you. Yeah, the Hermit. These are like both the same card. Go within. The Hermit means that you are going to, spend some time by yourself, spend some time in contemplation. But the thing is, the Hermit has this lantern. He's holding up the lantern to show you where you're going to be. And with this eclipse coming in and the North Node on it, that shows us where we're going in our life. That shows the deep place where you want to be, who you are, really aligning with that. So take that with you, Christine. That's a beautiful reading. I'm going to do a reading for Donna Burrile. Donna is really fighting hard. Glad I gave you some laughs. You know Donna, laughter is the best medicine. Donna's fighting hard. She has some health issues. Everybody send a little loving out to her. And she's got two beautiful boys that are in middle school. Can't believe that even. A couple of years ago, we took Donna and her husband Vinny out on the boat on the Great South Bay, and we renewed their marriage vows. It was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night by the lighthouse with our friend Suzette. And Suzette really planned the whole thing. It was a surprise. Still don't know how she pulled that off, but she did. So, okay, Donna, going to pick some cards for you. Got the Knight of Wands. Quiet repose. You need to take some quiet time. I know this time of year gets busy for you, but you got to take your time. Take your time. Rest, baby. Okay. Don, I see a project coming in for you. I don't know what kind of project, but you're being offered something. It's something that almost becomes like a legacy for you, something that is ongoing. So take that with you. Definitely some kind of a legacy for your journey. Something that is a symbolization and really, I don't even know how to say it. It's almost like this is something that you start, but you have no idea how much effect this is going to have on people and how long this keeps going and going and going. So I think it's some kind of a project or some kind of a thing that you do. And this is about balancing your world, your journey, the things you've gone through in this lifetime with the spiritual world, with what we all want to leave behind, etc. Okay. I'm just reading a comment, so I'm going to go back to the reading. I do see the Knight of Wands here. Knight of Wands is usually someone who comes in for me and gives recognition, shows rewards for a battle hard won. And I'm also seeing the Three of Swords, which is, quiet contemplation, like you're taking your rest that you deserve, a long rest that you deserve. But it's not a rest like because you're sick, and I know you go through that a lot. It's more of a rest because you just want to feel comfortable and good. So try and take some quiet time, even if it is with the family, and maybe have like a little game night or something. I think that you need to get back to that connection. Now, there is some conflict going on. I feel like this is on the friend zone. There's some friends around you that maybe are a little conflicting. Don't pay attention to that, because something is being offered to you beyond that point, beyond the friendships. This is more about spending time with your family. Put more effort into family and the boys than you do into outside people. That's what I'm seeing. All right. Yeah, this is about you really saying also what's on your mind. I feel like you're going to really take thoughts that you have and interpret them and not fly off the handle, but put the energy through your mind, and you're really going to start to interpret the words that you want to speak, and you're going to start to say things that are really meaningful, maybe to your boys, maybe to Vinny. I just feel like your style of communication is really going to change, and that you focus more on the family rather than some of the conflicts you're having with some friendships. All right. Don't waste time on people who don't get it. Okay. And that's what I'm getting for you. I'm going to pull a couple of cards for Carrie Ann tonight also. And if you guys would share the show, I'd love that. We're trying to get more viewers. I work really hard on it, and I want more people to see what we're talking about, right? Okay, so I am going to pick a couple of cards for Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann is really sweet energy, and she's been on a journey, making lemonade out of lemons. That's what we all do, right? Okay, Carrie Ann, this is for you. Knight of Wands. He kept up almost every reading tonight, and you all see me. You see me shuffle. You see me shuffle, man. But that Knight of Wands is coming in, and I think the Knight of Wands is coming in also because of all this eclipse energy we have happening. It's sudden, shocking energy with Uranus in there, so the Knight of Wands comes in. But the difference between this eclipse energy with Uranus and what we experienced a lot over the last couple of years is in this energy, the Uranus is going to come in and give us some rewards. You see this beautiful wand that the Knight of Wands is holding. It's got new growth on it. It's got leaves on it. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's definitely new growth. It's new perspectives. It's new chapters. And then, Carrie Ann, for you, we have the Page of Pentacles, which usually when the Page of Pentacles comes in a reading, it's communication via text, computer, something that you are being communicated with that has to do with money or an opportunity to make money because he's holding the coin. So this could be about a job. It could be about a position or an event or something that you want to do that's going to be money for you, but you're going to get a communication in a favorable way about that. And it'll be electronic. Yeah, this is definitely something with money, with job, with vocation, with some project that you want to do, because I've got the Seven of Cups, which is all about, I'm going to just turn, I know I'm reading them facing me, but I'm going to turn them so that they are facing the camera so you guys can see. The Seven of Cups, Carrie Ann, this is having choices and almost having so many choices that you don't know what to do. So I always, when I pull cards like this, instead of a big spread, when you come to see me, I would do a big spread. But for purposes of the show and quickly reading, I just pull a few cards. I like them to tell me a story. So the story is the Knight of Wands comes in. You're going to get a reward for something. He gives you information. He brings you an opportunity. It's going to come through an electronic means, text, email, messenger, Facebook. And you're going to have choices. Maybe you're going to be offered more than one thing. Make sure you look at everything. There's good abundance in all different ways, but you want to pick the one that's right for you. So don't leap before you look. Really look at your choices. And then we've got the Star card, because the choice that you're trying to make, the project or the job or whatever's coming through for you, this is really about being the star, coming into your own. Finally, this is a situation where you are going to balance what's above is so below, and you get to do something more spiritual and more in alignment with who you want to show up to be in the world. So take that story with you and expect some kind of a movement with something you've been working on. Rewards are coming for the work that you've done, and this is going to be something really good for you as long as you focus and pay attention to what those choices are. You know, leap before you look, really weigh things, okay? So that was for Carrie Ann. So I'm just going to go on to comments, see what everybody's talking about, because I only have a couple of minutes left on the show. You're welcome, Donna. Love you too. Hi, Kim. Everybody send hearts over to Kim in Florida. Love her. High school. That's what all friendships are like, high school. The older you get, it doesn't change. On point. Thank you very much for the confirmation, Donna. Love you. Okay. Yeah, choice is definitely coming for you, Carrie Ann. And the choice, something's offered to you that does put you in alignment. That's the word. Absolutely. So everybody send some love to each other in the Zenkuda community, because I got to tell you, this eclipse is coming in. We're going to be a little emotional this week, but I just want you to know that it's going to be good, though. Let the emotions flow through you. Let yourself feel them. Bobby, if you want to change the camera, we're done with cards. And what I was going to say is emotions are our power seat. You know, when we feel emotions and we let them rip, we have a tendency to feel more powerful after that. So don't deny your emotions. A lot of times you'll see on my page or in comments, Donna or other members of the Zenkuda community will put ILY, right? I love you, I love you, I love you. The reason why is because when you attend Zenkuda or Georgia Rose events in person, we do a tradition called the waterfall. And we all gather in a circle, and each one takes turns going in the middle, and we all go up and down and say, I love you, I love you, I love you. And it's this beautiful energy, it's a connection that we all feel. And that's why a lot of times in the Zenkuda community, you'll see ILY, illy, illy, illy. It means I love you, I love you, I love you. So sending out the love to everybody tonight. I can't thank you or be more grateful for this beautiful soul space that we create. Please spread the joy, spread the vibration, spread the love, and let's get more people in here every Monday night, just spreading the word of love throughout the globe, because that is really what we need. Thanks so much, you guys. You can find me on Facebook, Zenkuda Soul Space. You can find me on Soul Space on YouTube. My website is zenkuda.com, and on Instagram as Zenkuda Official. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next Monday at 7. And if you want a private reading, you know where to find me on any of that media. Bye-bye.